Yo. Talk now.
Yep, we are live.
Welcome. We are live. Everybody, welcome. Hey, Roger, and everybody who has joined us tonight. Roshan, Jonathan, Andik, Theophilus is here.
Yes.
Welcome to the first inaugural pilot episode of Crisscross Tuesday. Yay!
Hey, man.
What's up, you guys? First of all, a big welcome to Bobby and Con. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Our pleasure.
I've known you guys for years. I mean, we've been in
Our
the industry for such a long time. I mean, I couldn't think of any two other guys that should be on the first show. Every Tuesday night, starting today. This is the pilot episode. And thank you so much for joining us. I know classic cars and old school cars, Bobby, you're not so much into it. And I wouldn't have invited you if not for your Fiat 127.
It's a minor miracle he bought my car,
Con, I beg to differ. It is a mega miracle he bought this car. I never expected
Chris,
it. And now, Bobby,
I think that's I think you played no small part in that.
Well, actually, Con, now I want to confess to Bobby something. When we went to see the car, actually, I went to see it for myself. I had no idea Bobby was actually going to say yes and buy the damn car because I was planning to buy it myself. And then Bobby says, yeah, okay. And I'm like, damn it.
But you remembered I told you I like the 127, right?
Yes. That's why I brought you along to see the car with me.
That moment when you texted me on the 127, I myself forgotten I told people I like this car.
Yes.
This car has like gone off my radar totally.
Off the radar already.
So I was having lunch with Cass, and I remember I was in Mid Valley. It was 2019 BC, right, before COVID. and you sent me the picture. I'm like, ooh, 127. Then I show Cass. Then Cass is like, oh, nice. How much? Then I ask you how much. Then you say 8K, right? Then I told Cass 8K, and then Cass said buy.
Wow. Excellent. Yep. But that was not the
we
final
arrive on the
price.
spot. And then we arrive on the spot, right? I tell you, my mindset is, 8K. If I buy it 8K, 9K, I'm also happy. Chris we went up there and straight up say 6.
And then
the guy was like, okay. I was like,
okay.
Wow, can like that one?
I think he was intimidated, Bobby. I think he was quite intimidated by the two of us. And I was actually surprised you said yes. Yep.
Because by ratio, it's almost akin to you go and look at a car that is 80K, and then you straight up say 60 lah, and then the guy say okay.
Yeah, but I think also the fact that he knew you, he recognized you. He didn't quite recognize me. He knew you. He knew your channel, and one of the things that I think made him decide to say yes immediately to 6K was the fact that he knew his car was going to go into good hands. I mean, look at that car. It's so cute. It's such a cute little car with magnesium alloy wheels that can actually catch fire before the rest of the car catches fire. I mean, what's not to love? What's not to love? Yeah. And Con, thank you so much for joining us also. And you, I mean, I take if I wore a hat, I would I'm going to wear a hat and take it off to you, because not only do you have one E39 which you love so much, you actually have two E39s. I mean, come on.
The second one was a vanity purchase because of the plate.
Because of the plate. Your initials and your birth year and date.
I mean, birthday. But actually, right before we go there, I actually want to go back to what you said about the 127, and this is something I mentioned in the comments during your show, during the time when you were on Thomas's show.
Yep.
When you buy a used car, when you buy a classic car, right, you're not just buying the car, Sometimes you're buying the story of the car.
Yes.
Like for example, this Fiat 127, it has this car dates back to the 60s. this car has a
70s,
long history for it, you know, and the fact that Bobby bought it, he owns the right to tell that history as the owner of the car.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. This is what we call it provenance. There's a nice word to use, provenance. When a car has a lot of provenance, and you get this especially when you buy from a private seller as opposed to a used car dealer.
Correct.
They can actually tell you the history of the car, you know, what they've done to it, you know, what had happened in the past, how even they managed to get this car into their hands. And so a lot of history comes with that car. I'm not just talking about the receipts and stuff.
Chris, when you were chatting with the seller, and then both of you spoke about Ramesh, the previous owner, right?
Yeah, my late friend Ramesh. Yeah.
And then he was so happy to know that you actually was a previous owner of this car.
Of the car, yes, correct. Yes, this car was parked in my house last time, so he was very happy to hear that. True.
Many people didn't know that Chris used to be one of the owners.
Yes, the story of this car was, Chris, it was from your hands. Then it went to Ramesh, is it?
No. Ramesh had it first. He was crazy about the Fiat 127. He had three. He had three of them, and he begrudgingly let me buy one of these. See, it's very you know, he didn't want to let go of the car, but he begrudgingly let me buy this car off him because he had three, and I kept hounding him of the fact that, you know, bloody hell, you've got three. Why not let me have one? And so he begrudgingly let me have this one, which was the oldest one in his collection. And it was already painted this beautiful Alitalia livery when I bought it over. And I'll tell you guys the truth. I've never gotten so many smiles and thumbs up from random people on the road that I don't know than when I did when I was driving this car.
You know, the only other car that comes to mind, right, when you talk about, you know, stripes painted on the car is the Ferrari SF90 Stradale.
Oh yes. If not, it's just stickers, isn't it?
No, the SF90 Stradale, that silver stripe on the bonnet is painted on.
Painted. Yeah. So this whole car is painted. It's painted.
But
so
this one is even more elaborate, you know, because there's red.
Very. I wish you guys had met the previous owner, Ramesh, because he was crazy about old school classic. I mean, he had his own workshop called Car Rejuvenation Center in Segambut. So we restored a lot of cars together, and that's how I got into the, you know, this car restoration game, and how I came to own 12 freaking cars. But today this is not about me. Today this is not about me. I want to talk to you guys about, and this is a chat show. Everybody here, welcome everybody. This is not a buying guide. Yes, Thomas is here. This is not a buying guide. It's more. Come drag race with Mini Cooper. You know, that would be a really nice drive to have Bobby's Fiat 127.
Cannot catch up, lad.
You'd be surprised.
No,
I think
no way, bro. No, the way Thomas drives that, you can ask Irfan. Bugger, we cannot catch up with him, lah.
A lot of our guys here today.
Here.
Yes, Bakri is here. Hello. For your information, guys, Bakri is going to be one of my guests on Crisscross Tuesday in an upcoming episode. So
that's going to be fun.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about classic bikes, and we're both into biking, as you know, and we also have a liking or a penchant for classic bikes as well. In fact, I think he wants to buy a Royal Enfield. So yes, a new old Royal Enfield, not the classic Royal Enfield, but a new old Royal Enfield. So we will be talking about that in a future episode. Yes. Wow, so anyway, welcome everybody. Yeah, Bobby, you should. I know you've ridden bikes before on holiday, but so that's gonna be. It's
the 20 ringgit rental Thailand scooter where every time I U-turn, I need to put my legs down and then do this.
You have to do the Flintstones, lah.
You gotta do the Flintstone. You gotta do the Flintstone. Yeah. So Bucky is gonna be on a future episode. And so that's gonna be quite cool.
Oh, is it too late to wish Alex Young happy birthday?
Not at all. It's his birthday today. Alex Young, happy birthday. Is he here? No, he's not.
But next week he will.
Yes, that's right. Yes, Bobby's let the cat out of the bag. So yes, Alex Young, Malaysia. Yeah, it was supposed to be for the end of the show, Bobby, but never mind. It's okay. This is what live.
Bobby didn't get the briefing.
Yes.
God, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So now we have to do something else for the end of the show. But
Sorry.
yeah, let's put his photo up there. Alex Young is gonna be
I'm sorry.
a guest next week on. You're sanitizing yourself. Okay. Yeah. So Alex Young, happy birthday, Alex Young, and he is gonna be a guest on my show next Tuesday. Thanks, Bobby, for letting that cat out of the bag.
I thought you mentioned Bakri will be on the show. Then I thought you
No,
were gonna
after
say Alex. I'm so sorry. I'm so
that's
sorry.
okay. No, that's fine.
I'm
This is
so
this is
sorry.
what life is all about. You know, like,
Okay,
surprise.
I
Here's
shall.
the surprise. Alex Young will be on my show next week. Next week,
you
Tuesday.
got a great lineup. Great lineup of guests coming up, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, Buck, you've got big shoes to follow.
Chiang, we're gonna remind people again towards the end, because there are people joining in later. So
Yeah, later. So
sorry.
at the end,
And
we
I
will
hope you
remind
guys share this video out for Chris
Yeah,
Cross.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, next Tuesday will be Alex. But today, let's talk about my two bros here, who also own classic cars. And I want to know, because you guys know I don't have any really new cars. I've got the newest car I've got is a Waja, and the rest are all very, very old cars. So what was the growing up? I want to know from you guys what were the old cars that were in your family that inspired you, that your earliest car memory, for example, your earliest car memory. What was your earliest car memory? Who wants to go first?
I'll go. Yeah, I mean, my earliest car memory was a Toyota KE70.
Oh,
Yeah,
on my shopping list.
Yeah, man. It's and you know that car that car was what you call it? Yeah, that I remember that car was green, right? And I think my family bought it in 1980 or 81, which was a few years before I was born. And I always remember that car's distinctive appearance because the car got rear-ended once upon a time. And I always remember it had one side tail lights that were faded one because because my family did the repairs, they replaced it with a aftermarket tail light, and the left tail light got faded, right? And I remember sitting inside. There was an analog clock in the dashboard somewhere.
That's right.
So it's because of that, right? Whenever I see any car with an analog clock, right, I have a liking for it. I have a liking to see.
I still love analog clocks
in a dashboard.
Yeah,
right? It just makes the thing so classy. Like
absolutely right.
Yeah. And I remember that I don't remember the specifics, but I remember doing the thing, standing on the driver's seat and doing these things with the steering wheel.
Driving around the neighborhood.
Yeah, no lah. There was
no,
nobody.
I mean you steering, but your father behind you lah.
No.
The car.
No, the car was just parked in the porch. They actually let me inside the car on my own. And here's the best part. Here's the best part. At that time, my parents had the foresight of actually putting me in a child seat.
Wow.
But I cried my way out of it. I cried my way out of it. Yeah. So then in 1988, a year after my brother was born, they decided that the KE70 was a bit too small for the family. So my father traded that for a Proton Saga. And there's a story behind it also. And when they sold the car, when the buyer came to take the car, I cried. I cried. I didn't even cry after when I sold my Waja, but for that car, I cried.
Maybe that's what inspired the commercial. Do you remember the Toyota TV commercial where the kid actually cries when the Toyota goes away, but the good thing is there's always another one, and then the new Corona comes in.
Yes. So the story of how the car was sold also, right, was like my father put the booking on the Proton Saga at the time, the 8-watt Proton Saga 1.5.
Good
then a relative from Kuantan, what my grandmother's cousin and her husband lah. And this husband is quite well-to-do one, runs a very well-known bus company in Kuantan, so pretty well-to-do. And my grandmother was just telling them over a casual chit chat that say, hey, you know, we are selling the Corolla out there. And then the wife straight away said, hey, don't sell to other people. We will buy for you. Come, we want to buy the car.
Nice.
And the husband dutifully obliged and took 8,000 ringgit of banknotes and put on the table for us.
At that time, that's a lot of
In
cash.
1988,
yeah, that's a lot of cash to be kicking.
Yeah, it was like
carrying. Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
a beautiful shot, man.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So,
And that's you standing behind the car, right?
yes.
Oh, excellent! What a
Yeah.
beautiful shot! Thank you for
Yes.
sharing this. Look at that.
Yeah.
And I see you
So-
crying
you
in
all
the
have
child
the
seat as
photo
well.
one. So nice.
Yeah,
Oh, this
excellent.
was I used this as one of my videos. So I think Chiang
Ah.
did a HP and pulled that out. So good job, Chiang.
Nice. Good job,
And
Chiang. Thank
so
you.
the Corolla was sold for the gray the brown color Proton Saga below there.
Nice.
Right.
Okay. I got
And-
some interesting news for you on that, Con. You said it was sold for 8,000 ringgit, right?
Yeah,
Corolla
yeah.
KE70s today in 2021 are worth 8,000 ringgit still.
Oh damn.
Yes. Because
Damn.
I've been looking around. Actually.
And you know this car, right? That's K70. Apparently the relative has since passed away, but apparently the son is still driving the car.
It will go
Oh,
on
it's-
forever.
yeah,
It
yeah,
will
yeah, it's
properly
still
taken
keeping the
care
car.
of. These cars will just go on
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Gary
yeah.
Gary is asking whether the plate is 6432.
It's 3432.
3432.
Oh.
Okay.
Scully
Almost
Gary said-
Gary. Oh, it's my car. Bobby, what about you? What got you into cars? I mean, we were all car people here. We're all car enthusiasts. Bobby, what was your earliest car memory? Why did you start loving cars?
I've seen pictures of where I'm still baby, like a 1 year old or 2 year old toddler, right? And I'm already playing with cars. And my mom
Okay.
and dad told me that's the only thing I love.
Playing
Even
with toy
even as a baby. And my
wow.
dad told me once that when I was still small enough for him to carry me, maybe 2 or 3 years old, he said that whenever we were walking to a parking lot where I can only see the roof line of those cars, I can already name the cars.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
my
that
dad
is
told me that I have
amazing,
no
eh?
recollection. I have no recollection,
That is
but
damn amazing, eh?
That is.
yeah, I've loved cars. Like I have no idea why I love cars. And what I can remember is in kindergartens or in primary school, whenever we were asked to draw, I will always draw a car.
Draw a car.
Mm.
Right.
I will always draw cars. And if it is about family cars that I remember, Chris, you know that Nissan Brougham, the one with the 4 doors, frameless door without B pillar one?
This the
Wow, you have this
Brougham?
at home.
The the Datsun Brougham
Yeah.
with 4 doors.
Yes,
4 doors,
but pillarless.
4 frameless doors,
Frameless
but no
doors,
B
okay.
pillar. They call it
Wow.
a hard top back then. My grandpa had the one after that with the B pillar.
Wow.
With the okay,
which looks like a
okay.
normal sedan. But then
Maybe
the
we
one
can find
before,
a photo of that.
if you just search Chiang, you can search Datsun Brougham.
Datsun, yeah. Back then it was still Datsun.
GHAM. It's actually one of the first 4-door sports cars in the world. You know, it's 4
yeah,
frameless doors.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether Chiang can find it or not. Datsun Cedric Brougham.
Cedric. Okay,
yeah.
now you say Cedric. Yes. Okay. the
Datsun
Nissan
Cedric
Nissan
Brougham.
Cedric.
But it has
Datsun
a
Cedric,
long
yes.
running. It's a long running
Cedric,
name.
yes. Mm.
And there's
Is
only
that
one that is super cool. Wait, not this one, but
Not
this
that one.
this one is the exact type of car that this is exactly like it without B pillar, but 4 doors.
Mm.
But
I
the
remember
old one is super cool. The old one is
I'm
super
sure.
cool.
I'm sure.
Let me send the picture to our group chat. I don't know whether Chiang can capture it or not. The one in the 7. But of course, I hope my grandpa had that one. But my grandpa one is the 80s one where they have come to more rational, and it's a normal 4-door sedan, but it's still called the Datsun Cedric. Then my mom had the the Corolla hatchback. Of course,
yes.
a lot of people have seen the pictures where I share where my mom was next to the Alpha
Yeah,
Giulia,
yeah.
and my dad was with the Mazda Capella. But
Correct.
I wasn't born back then. I wasn't born back then. When I was born, my mom is already driving. You know the hatchback Corolla, the liftback Corolla with the
Yes.
square headlamps,
Yes,
the one that looks like the Audi UR Quattro one.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
that one.
That
My
one,
mom had
yeah.
that one, and my dad had a lot of cars. He had an Isuzu sedan once, and then he has the 528i, the 5 Series, the one that I mentioned. I don't like which generation
The
was it?
E28.
E28. Yeah.
The one with the US spec bumpers, right?
Yes.
Oh, the big bumpers in front. Yeah, those. Yeah,
And
the bumpers don't
for
do
a
it justice.
brief period, my dad did had a Saab 900,
Ooh,
the one that
LK's got.
LK, yeah. But
Yeah.
LK's one is a turbo, right? I'm not sure my dad's one is a turbo or not. But very
Could've
short
been
period of
900.
time, because back
Okay.
then he was like in and out of jobs until he run his own business. He opened a laboratory, like Path Lab, right? My dad runs a lab in the early 90s, and that time he had like, you know, like the around that period of time he has some luxury cars like 300 CE, Audi A4, and
Nice.
and then 97 he bankrupted, then gone. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And
Oh,
that
dear.
was when I was like, I'm gonna buy back, because somehow I like the A4. You know,
And you
I've
did, right?
driven. Yeah.
You bought an A4. I remember you told me your first car, or was it your first car that you bought?
Yes. My
An
first car
Audi
is an
A4.
A4 1.8 turbo. My dad's one is a
Yeah.
1.8 NA.
Right, you got the turbo. Nice,
I got the
nice.
turbo. Hey, I tell you, the NA 1.8, easily on the highway you can go 220, 230 easily.
I don't.
Weird,
I
right?
don't. Yeah, it's
Weird,
quite,
right?
quite
4-speed gearbox 1.8, but easily you can pull up to that kind
Well,
of
they
speed.
did gear those cars to run on the autobahn.
Yes.
Yeah,
A lot of German cars of that era, they are autobahn friendly. Autobahn friendly.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Yeah, they
They
have to
are
be autobahn
underpowered
friendly.
on paper, but somehow they will
Right?
take a while to reach that 200, but
Yes.
they will reach 200.
They will reach.
Yeah.
They will reach.
Yeah.
Definitely. What kind of
Yeah.
posters did you guys have on your wall? For all of you who are watching this show, I just want to reiterate one thing. Yeah, this is a chat show, so it's for me to try and learn more about my wonderful two brothers here, and also for you to learn more about my wonderful two brothers here, whom I've known for ages. So posters on the wall. I had a Lamborghini Countach. What did you guys have?
Oh, my mother didn't let me put posters on the wall, so that's
Oh, you mean car posters?
Yeah, the kind of posters that you used to put on your wall when you were a kid.
The only car posters, because poster is a 90s thing, right?
Oh, look at that.
Posters lasted until somewhat 90s, right?
Yeah.
The
Nobody
only
car posters on their wall
the
anymore.
only big posters, the only big posters that I ever collected was of McLaren F1.
Ooh,
and,
good choice. Good choice.
Nissan R33 GTR,
Oh.
and the Blitz R348, which is the R34 GTR.
R348. Yeah, the Blitz car. I remember the Blitz car. Yes.
The Blitz R34 GTR. It's called a Blitz R348. Yeah, I've only had that.
Nice.
That I can remember. I kept them lah. So that was in the 90s lah.
Good.
actually,
the good old days.
Posters on the wall isn't a thing anymore.
Not a thing anymore.
Since the
People have stopped.
2000s. That's why our computer background is called wallpaper. It overtook that.
Yes,
right? So,
that's true. I never thought of it.
What's on
that
your
way.
wallpaper, Chris? What's on your wallpaper?
My wallpaper is my Mitsubishi Pajero, my old school 4x4. Yeah, it was the W126, but of course, I sold that. But so now it's the Pajero, this new realm of old school that I'm getting into, old school 4x4. And of course, I couldn't afford a Suzuki Jimny because they're stupid expensive now for some weird reason. And even though I used to have one, and I was looking around to maybe buying another one, but no, I can't afford them anymore. So the Pajero came along, and so now I have Pajero on my wallpaper.
Nice.
You guys?
I just sent Chi Yang my current wallpaper.
Okay, Cool. Let's have a
DJ,
look
they all
at what.
sent it to me.
Okay. Cool. So, Con, what do you have on your wallpaper?
Oh, my wallpaper is a family picture, so not far related. But
Okay,
my
okay.
phone lock screen is the latest Alfa Romeo wallpaper that Kevin designed for Ewa. But where's
Nice.
the phone?
Which car was that? Which car was
The
that?
which one? It was the Alpha.
Which Alpha? The Brera?
No, I can't remember. Which one was it? The red color.
The 1600 Sprint Junior.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it
Yeah,
the
with
one
the
that
background one, yes.
Michael Hahn had? The one that I drove before? Was it?
I think
Was it the one?
that's the one, right? I think it's the one. I'm not sure.
I think Chris
I
would
don't
know.
know I don't know my
No.
classic Alphas
But
that.
this is my wallpaper right now.
Ah,
So this was one of the photos I took during the first off-road drive for this car, the shakedown drive for this car. And I was like, that was it. After that, we went into lockdown. So
damn.
I've not driven the Pajero in quite some time. Looking forward to it though. So close to 30 minutes. Shall we go for a very quick break and come back again soon? Yeah, cool. So we'll see you all in a little while. Go for a
share
quick
it
break.
to more friends. Ask them to join us.
Join us,
Yeah.
please join us. We've got 218 people online right now with us.
Oh,
Wow,
sweet.
that's
Nice.
great. Sweet. So, yep, let's go for a quick break, Chiang, and we'll be back soon. And we're back. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, happy to have you all here. This is the pilot episode, inaugural episode of Chris Wee's Crisscross Tuesdays. And we've got, ask me why I chose that title. But anyway, we've got Con and Bobby here. Of course, they need no introduction. And there's Bobby's wallpaper. Look at that. This is one of those surreal moments where you're being chased by your own car. How does that happen? You're being chased by your own car.
That's Cass driving.
Yeah. Shout out to Cass if you're watching. Hello, Cass.
Hi,
Hope
Cass.
everything's okay. So, Bobby, when was this taken? Was this Evo Enduro?
No, this was last year's Malaysia Day. We're all heading
Malaysia
to
Day. Yeah.
Eco Ardens.
That's right. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Very
When
cool
we
photo.
still have our freedom.
That's what I was going to talk about in a little while. What has been the hardest part of the EMCO, MCO, CMCO, FMCO, SMCO, whatever MCO? For me, it has been actually just getting into my car and driving, and the things we took for granted before the lockdown. Like I could just grab my passport, jump into my car, and drive to Thailand. I mean, that's something we really took for granted, and I really miss being able to do that. My passport has got a cute family of mice living in it right now, and although it's still valid,
mine expired in September. I didn't bother to renew it.
Yeah, why bother? So, but not just Thailand, but just imagine just driving to Cherating or Malacca. It's a luxury now,
Yeah.
Grocery runs have
man.
become a luxury. Grocery runs have become a luxury. So is it also the same for you, guys? The lockdown, the fact that we are just not able to drive when
Man.
we want, where we want.
You know, just an hour ago, you remember Yi Kang, right? I'm sure.
Yes,
Yi
of
Kang.
course, you can.
He was unfortunate because he was one of those who went to the Shah Alam PPV, and there was the outbreak, right?
Oh dear.
And
yeah.
and he had to self quarantine. So tomorrow is his second swab. So once he is clear, he's free lah. So just now we were chatting, you know, in the group chat, and then he was like, "Oh, I miss driving." Then I'm like, "Bro, never mind ma. You go and do your power plug lah." We all, because there are so many weekend drives where when we ajak, then he can't say, "Oh, I cannot join tomorrow. I need to do my power plug." So because his factory, he always bring those back home and do it, right, and assemble them at home, right?
The plugs.
So I saw him lah just now. I was like, "Hey, bro, okay what? Don't have to drive ma. Every time I ask you go out drive, you say you're not free. You need to do the power plug. Now you do lah." Then Baldwin was like, "Wow, Bobby, you damn bad."
It's not was condemned so long waiting one day to
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Held
then
it
I
back
told
for so
Baldwin, I'm like, "No, Baldwin, because he always tell us he's busy at home, cannot go drive, need to do power plug. Now I want to make him so mad at power plugs, right? That he will go to the power plug there and flick the on-off switch. Fuck you. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
funny.
it's
That's
been yeah, man, we cannot go out, but thanks to Thomas, a few early morning, you know, ajak me out, you know, for like some stupid morning drive around, and then I myself early morning I've done a few rounds like 6:30, 6:45.
Yeah.
I just drove my car out Federal Highway, Kerinci, then go Tanner, blah 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 like that. I mean, that's the only thing we can do lah.
Within 10 kilometers, I think that's still allowed.
Because
Yeah.
actually, if you think of it, right, you put the science into it, right? Driving is really the safest activity.
Absolutely. I said that in
you
my live the other day. It's true, because most of the time we're in the car alone because we like to drive. And then with the places that we go to, Bobby, that the big parking lot up in Genting Highlands, there's nobody there.
Yeah,
Maybe a
man.
bunch of buses.
Yeah.
So we are social distancing. So I think driving should be allowed as part of
we are social distance by default.
By default. Absolutely right.
But
as
you
everybody
know,
knows-
netizens, there are people with you know, some people, their train of thoughts is just so weird, right? They will come and comment and say things like, "Hey, Bobby, you vibrate lah. You drive so far to vibrate for what? Later got accident. People need to come to you. I know people need to come to you and save you. Maybe they get contracted with COVID." I'm like, hey, if I go out and vibrate when the government say, "Okay, it's open now," and then he won't say this, you know, but because he know I'm having a little bit of fun, then he say this. You know,
a little bit of jealousy there.
Yeah, some people's mindset
jealousy
is just,
going. Yeah,
it's
crazy. It's crazy. Okay, one of the things we were talking about just now, and then we got sidetracked for some reason, is your own, both of you, your own personal old school car ownership. Bobby, you've got a classic, and Con, you've got a soon to be very classic. What? And you know, you guys also have modern day cars. I mean, like really modern day cars. Okay.
Right.
So what do you feel is the greatest difference in terms of ownership experience and driving experience between your newer cars and your classic cars?
For me, I enjoy driving any of my cars, but of course, given the choice, right, I will always grab my BMW key first.
Which one? You got two, damn it. I still haven't forgiven you for that. How could you own two?
Actually, now I use the blue one more often because the silver one has hit 5,000 kilometer limit on my insurance mileage already.
Oh, the pro mileage.
Insurance.
Right. Pay as you play.
Yeah, but you know the thing is that, right, even though they are both the same car, but there is some subtle differences between the two of them, right? The blue one is CBU, the silver one is CKD, and somehow, right, the blue one feels like, it's built like a tank,
And it's because it's CBU? Because it's CBU.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. That's sorry, go ahead.
But the silver one, which is the 520, the lower powered one, somehow has a nicer noise when I rev the engine.
And that's the CKD model.
That's the CKD model. But CKD with a higher spec interior.
Right.
Yeah,
That's interesting. That's interesting. Cool. Bobby, okay. Before before you answer you have probably got the biggest, highest spectrum in terms of years of car ownership as your Aston and your Audi are concerned to a Fiat 127. So your experience is going to be like, I don't know, chalk and cheese might be too simple. So what is it for you when you drive after you get out of your Aston and you get into a 127 or vice versa? What's the feeling?
Okay, I would have enjoyed the Fiat more if I don't need to use up to 5 to 8 minutes just to start it every time. But every time when it starts, it gives me that yes,
victory, small
wins.
Yes.
Win.
like if you go out for a drive, right, your maximum happiness is here, right? The moment the car cranks, right, the happiness, the bar went up here already, and then the rest just adds up minutely, I know. Okay. I mean, the car is okay. I'll be upfront first. I'm not someone who will admit and tell people that, I love classic cars. There are some people who PM me, hey, Bobby, join our classic car group, join our classic car, Facebook group and all that. I reply them, sorry bro, I actually hate classic cars.
So folks, now you heard it from the horse's mouth itself.
So I told her, I said, I only like how it looks. I love the way it looks. And in fact, a lot of older cars. So I'm someone who is, you see, I enjoy crazy. Last time when I had the few chances of having Theophilus Chin visiting me, and both of us sitting together talking about car design, studying concept cars and all that, right? I really enjoy that. Especially when we want to productionize a concept car, we look at, A-pillar too thin, it should be thicker, this rake angle is not right. We measure the doors length, and then Theophilus would measure the ingress and egress of the width of the door, all these things. I enjoy that. So I appreciate a lot of older car designs. Just now I mentioned the original Cedric Brougham is just a beautiful car, right? It's absolutely beautiful. And then, so I love how they look, but provided they are properly restored by someone to function well mechanically. So my Fiat, it gives me the kind of funny things that happen, like if I leave the aircon on, when my car comes to a stop, the aircon will kill off the engine because the engine isn't powerful enough to run the aircon on idle.
Yes. You only got 903 cc.
So I'm like, okay, you have a steering with no power steering, right? Then you drive manual, drive, shift gear, and then the brakes are shit. That car's brakes is absolute shit.
You got to plan ahead.
You have to plan like real far ahead and bury the foot deep into the footwell. And then as we slowly roll to a stop, I have to switch off the engine, the aircon, and then when the car moves a little bit, I can shift into gear. As the car starts rolling, then I turn on the aircon. The car in front stops, I switch off the aircon again, and then switch gear. So I have not just the steering wheel, the brake, the throttle, and the gear. I have the aircon switch as well. That's
relatable, very relatable. But you know what? I'll say this. You are having more fun in that car at 80 kilometers an hour than you are at 180 kilometers an hour in your Aston.
I can't go up to
80 kilometers to start with.
I can't go up to 80.
God, that was below the belt. You can't go.
That car maxes out about 43, 44.
No. Below the belt. I was
Yeah,
43.
serious. I mean, there was once I reached 50. You know, during our Janda Bayet run, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Yes.
So on Karak, I reached 50, and the car literally slipped. I tell you that the thing just it was doing that way. Then I was like, oh, don't die, you know.
Oh
So
my
yeah, it's a
But it's an
it's
adventure. Every drive is an adventure.
Every
Right?
drive tingles the senses.
Yes. Every drive that
it
doesn't kill
is.
you is a win.
So I mean, seriously, after this whole thing, right, I really want to like, if I have the money and the time, right, like really get someone who's good enough to actually, you know, design a new subframe to mount an engine, to just basically, I want the shell. I just love the shell. I love the original seats, but that's as much
That's
as I
it.
love. I
That's
mean,
it. Well,
the
we got Kenneth Teo here, and he just said Buso
anytime.
127, and he wants to try out your car and see how he can improve it. So yeah, he wants to try your 127 and see maybe he can improve it. Kenneth, for those of you who don't know, Kenneth Teo is an also old friend of mine. He's Mr. Italian car. He's got quite a few and very very well versed. So yeah, Bobby, you can give him a try. So hello, everybody. Let's just 226 people online. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a quick shout out to all of you who are here tonight. And this is the pilot episode of Crisscrossed. And of course, we got Bobby and Con here. Who else could it possibly be? If you're wondering about the background photo, that's actually taken in Pantai Cerating in Kuantan, one of our drives that we had, and we were just talking about it. One of the things we miss most about the lockdown is not being able to drive whenever we feel like it. So on the topic of Bobby is saying no turbos. Okay. Buzo V6. There you go.
Chris,
There's a photo. See, yes, bro.
do you know that Kenneth was the one who bought over my Fiat Panda?
Oh, no. And
Yeah,
when was
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Long time ago, must be.
We bought it was Cass's car. Cass bought the Fiat Panda back
Okay.
in 2009, and then
Right.
she sold it. I mean, Kenneth bought it over in 2013 when Cass got her mini Clubman.
The mini Clubman with
Yeah.
the two doors that open at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Love that mini.
So
Really like
we
that mini.
love the Fiat Panda. I mean, okay, I've never been a fan of Fiat. The brand speaks nothing to me,
Okay.
but they have so many amazing cars. To be
They do,
honest, in
actually.
the past 20 years, right, I would say
Yes.
Fiat has more lovely small cars than Alfa or whatever. You know, Fiat has the Panda. Oh my God, the way it drives, the suspension, everything is just lovely,
Set up
including
very well. Yeah.
the 127. I never, you see, I drove Thomas's Mini, right, the classic Mini, right. Horrible suspension. It's just absolute horrible. That thing just bang 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 bang. Oh, my Fiat, right? My Fiat Con, the Fiat feels like the Passat suspension, the Ford Focus suspension.
Wow.
I can fly over speed bumps. I can fly over speed bumps and magic carpet, you know, and corner.
Tuned with finesse.
Yes.
And you don't get a lot of that today.
And the exterior, the car is about the size of the classic Mini, right?
Actually, you look at
the
this,
interior room is very spacious.
Look at this photo right here. I mean, the fact that both of us, Bobby, you and I, sat in the car and went for the test drive, that is already saying something. That's already saying something. Look at, I mean, for a small car like that, the both of us can actually sit inside there with the diesel Kiki aircon at the bottom there, because this car didn't come with aircon. That's a bolt-on air conditioning system right there. And maybe that's why the car dies when you turn on the aircon, because it was never meant to have an aircon.
Chiyang, highlight that comment. 942 R Harindranath.
Yep, I see it here.
I bought it from him. 942 R Harindranath.
This one.
There was a 942 comment above. Yes. We bought the Fiat Panda from him.
But
through an agent. Through an agent, so we do not know, because he traded the Fiat for a Hyundai. So we bought the car from a Hyundai dealership in Glenmary. I didn't know he's the owner until he followed Horizon Facebook page. And also he posted we all post our previous cars. He posted the Fiat Panda. Then I was
I
like, bro, that's your
see.
car. I'm the owner after you. My wife, and then we became friends. Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's
Kenneth
amazing.
Kenneth also has he owned Kenneth just said that he owned the original owner of WPW 9609. Was that your car?
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Harindranath. Yeah, that's the car that Cass bought from
Okay.
from
That was
Harindranath.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Provenance. We were just talking about provenance much
Yeah,
earlier. The
man.
fact that you know the history of the car, what it's gone through, who it's gone through. That's always
Yes.
one of the best things about buying an old school classic or a classic car from an actual owner rather than going to a used car dealer. Wonderful.
I wish my Aston previous owner is here so I can ask him, bro, why you took away the V12 plate? The plate of that car was just V12, you know.
Oh, he
epic.
I would be too. But both your cars now, the red one and the white one, are Ray, so that's kind of cool. So but he probably bought another V12. That's why he wanted that number plate. I mean, there's no other reason for him to actually keep that.
He
plate.
probably spent a good amount of money on that plate too.
On V12, yeah, absolutely. Thomas was saying
I think V8 will cost more.
Yeah.
Lapan.
You were talking about Thomas's Mini just now. He said my Mini feels like a safari going on 4x4.
Oh, yeah. That's the crude way of tuning suspension, to be honest. They just make it hard so that it corners well, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
like a go-kart, like a
Fiat
go-kart
one,
for the road. Yep.
The Fiat one is so well tuned. Fantastic.
Tuned with finesse.
Nice. Okay, so on to the next question. I'm going to give you guys throw a sideball here. Okay, give you a question. As all of you know, and now I'm talking to the viewers as well, the 232 who have joined us. Thank you. Welcome. Horizon always, before the lockdown, we had Evo Enduro, where we would have a wonderful long distance road trip into Thailand and back again. And as you guys know, Con and Bobby, I've attended two of them, and I've always used an old school car, a classic car. First was the Mercedes W124, 126, followed by the BMW E30. I wouldn't say, I know Con, you would definitely take your E39 on an Evo Enduro. In fact, you already have the silver one. Bobby, would you consider driving the Fiat 127 for an Evo Enduro? And if he's already shaking his head, and I don't blame you whatsoever. But if you could drive a classic car for Evo Enduro, any classic car, which one would it be?
Any classic car.
Which classic car appeals to you that you would drive for Evo Enduro? Because I'll tell you why. I'll give you a little bit time to think of it. It was a very, very different driving field experience. I've done road trips with newer cars, and I've done road trips with classic cars. But for me, the most fun I've ever had on a long distance drive was actually using one of the classic cars. It was totally different because there were times when the aircon would stop working, so I put down the window. Then you can feel the sensations around you, the sights, the smells, the sounds, stuff like that. So I feel that a long distance drive is somehow more rewarding when you drive a classic car. But that's just me,
Definitely.
I'm on the same page with you on this too.
Definitely. I totally agree that those experiences are priceless compared to a modern car where you just bomb down the highway. I'm very lucky that 2 years ago we went Mae Hong Son, right? The few of us, we were invited by the Thai tourism and the Chamber of Commerce of Chiang Mai. So then we met up with the drive group, the Thailand drive group, Ren Drive, and there was this guy. Every Thai has a nickname, right? His nickname is just Plum.
Plum.
Every Thai has a nickname because their names are so long, right? Like TJ is Ant. TJ is Ant.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, Ant. The meaning of it is ants. Yeah. So Plum, he drove 1950s MG Le Mans. It's a speedster where it doesn't have a roof, right? It doesn't have a roof. Okay. There are only 4 units in the world.
Oh my goodness! And he's got one in Thailand.
Yeah, MG Le Mans. One in USA, one in Europe, one in Japan, and one in Thailand.
Amazing.
And these cars are worth millions. And his car, the car that he drove, right, is a concourse show winning car. That means you open the bonnet, right? You see everything like polished, beautiful, you know, all the markings, all the engine chassis number, everything is perfect one.
And it's not a trailer queen, and he uses it.
He uses it.
Nice.
And he asked me to drive his car, and I was like, what if I at first I was like, no, I don't dare. You know, what if I scratch it? You know, I hit something. And then he said, Bobby, come. Then he showed me. He said, look at my paint. Is it beautiful? Then he asked me. He pointed me to one part. Can you see what is this? Then I was like, hey, why is there a fingerprint there? There's a markings of a palm on the paint.
Okay. Yeah.
And he said that when he got the car painted just fresh, his friend came and like put his hand on the car.
Oh, and the paint was still wet.
Oh. Yes. And his friend was like, sorry. Then he was like, no, this is part of our memory. He decided to keep the palm prints of his friend.
Yeah, wow.
And he told me that. He said, if you have a small accident or a scratch or whatever, it becomes our friendship's memory. Wow, I tell you, I freaking salute that guy. Wow. I freaking salute him. He's an amazing person. And he has like 30, 40 cars. He has 30, 40 cars. And that type of car, I would go for enduro. I mean, something with a healthy drivetrain, classic. It must be a car without roof. For me, it has to be a car without roof. After having all these cars, right? You notice or not, Chris? Every weekend drive, I never bothered my other cars. I just bring my BMW
to put the roof down.
For the fact that I can put the roof down and enjoy even at 20 or 30 km.
Yes. When you don't have a roof, speed is not the issue already. It never will be. You know,
you don't need speed to. That's how.
Beautiful.
No, this is the normal one. This is not the
right.
Okay, the Le Mans one has a you know the thing that bulge at the back of the driver with a cushion.
Yes.
Just one side. The Le Mans had that, but this is how the car looks.
Look, beautiful. Okay, if it wasn't your E39, what kind of a classic car would you take for Evo Enduro?
The car that came to mind would be a 911 Targa.
Oh, good choice. But you see, again, drop the top. No roof. But you can take the roof off whenever you want.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
But the thing about, you see, right, the thing with driving a classic, I feel, is that you always have to be alert. You have to be a bit more alert than you have a new car, right? So people like us, right, when we go on we know we're going for a drive like enduro, we will prep our cars. We'll send the car for service. We'll do everything up, fluids, tires, and all that. But even then, also, we were like, throughout the whole journey, our mind will be on alert. Hey, anytime things are aging in this car one, right? So you always have to be alert to all the signs that the car is telling you that whether it's in good health or not.
Yes.
It's no joke, Con. It's no joke. During our Mei Hong Son drive, right, the whole classic 911 group, they had a team of mechanics following us in the Golf GTI. And there was this morning where it was just 15 minutes before we roll off. I was standing in front of the 964 and the front bonnet is open. Through the bonnet, I can see towards the back seats. Basically, the whole firewall is out. The whole dashboard is out. And the mechanics are working on the car. They were rushing to finish up the car. I was like, wow, at this stage, can we flag off on time? And 15 minutes later, everything was put back into place, and then they roll off.
How ironic. My cousin has just joined the... Hey, Dylan. Another Drop the Top fan. Who will definitely join us one day for Evo Enduro. Drop the Top. Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So giving life, basically giving new life to old school classics and classic cars and all that. Classic daily drivers. The experience, one of the experiences that I've always talked about is that I feel they are more engaging. They're more engaging in terms of a drive, because modern day cars, for want of a better expression, I feel are doing a lot for the driver, maybe too much for the driver these days. And that's why driving a classic, even on a daily basis, might actually be a little bit more rewarding. Not to say that new cars are bad, okay? Don't get me wrong. It just might be a little bit more of a rewarding experience.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
Me, I bought a Fiat Punto that's in the background for Evo Enduro 2020, and then it didn't happen. So now I've got this really nice drop the top, and the drop the top still works, but no Evo Enduro to speak of for the time being. But I think Bobby and Con, we've been talking about this for quite some time, and very hopefully, fingers crossed, 2022, we might do another Evo Enduro. Yeah.
There's a part in me where I want to be in a small car with the roof down and a Busso engine, the sound of a Busso engine accompanying a manual gearbox, you know. That kind of sound.
Something about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Any recommendations for that?
I cut out him on day one, Con. Day one, I brought the car back, right? I took a picture, I sent to Kenneth, I said, bro, I want you to Busso this for me. Then he was like, fuck you lah, cannot fit lah.
Can lah. You firewalls are overrated lah. Get rid of the firewall, sit next to the engine, can.
Hey, I Kenneth, if you're still here, right? I don't need the aircon. You put a Busso in. I don't even need space for air conditioning, whatnot. I don't need all that. I just want the Busso and the manual gearbox connected and the wheel spin. That's it. You know, I don't need fuel efficiency. I don't need whatever sensor, whatever cat pipe, whatever nonsense. I don't need all that. I just want the engine and the gearbox and the car moves. That's it.
Yeah. I've told you this before, Bobby. You put a Busso in your 127. The moment you accelerate, the engine will go. Your car will still be here.
That's why it needs someone to actually weld a proper frame inside the car, hiding inside the shell, right? Everything else we can jump out already, right?
Unfortunately, Kenneth is right lah. Sadly, a 127 with a 2.5 V6 will be illegal, so you can't even cross the border. Sorry, bro.
Yes, Asin go bullshit lah. I mean, all the cars that he modded to a Busso, takkan he go and declare to JPJ, right?
But you see, the thing is that his other customers don't have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. All eyes will be on you. The moment you do that,
I'll put a plastic cover on top and says 1.4 Fiat. Fiat 1.4.
Put a MyV badge at the back, Bobby. All is forgiven. All is forgiven. Going on another 30 minutes, folks. Let's take another quick break, and we shall be back soon. Yeah,
you shall be back.
All right.
Yes. Go grab a drink.
Share the video. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. For those of you who have just joined us, this is the inaugural pilot episode of Crisscross Tuesdays. Of course, we've got Bobby and Con here today for this first episode. Thank you guys for joining, taking time out of your schedules. I know, yes, we are stuck at home, but we have all got stuff to do and all that. And we were just discussing in terms of the effects of the lockdown, how bad it's affected all of us. And I think we can generally surmise that not being able to drive has been one of the greatest impacts of this pandemic. So, okay, just moving along. I kind of forgotten what we were going to talk about already.
So, we were on what cars to bring to
for Evo Enduro. Sold. Oh, this is the car, Bobby, that you drove.
Yes. Yes.
Lovely,
yes.
Lovely,
There's only 4 in the world.
Amazing.
Look at that, bro. Look at that.
And it says sold. So I don't even, what is the price something like this would go for? I mean, it's million over for sure.
I have no idea.
Crazy. Yeah. Definitely. Amazing. But imagine driving something like this for Evo Enduro at the the hilly roads in Trang, top down, very sparse traffic.
Just look at that.
Absolutely. Look at
Just
that.
look
That
at
is
it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
gorgeous.
That
Absolutely.
was when cars were sculpted,
Yes.
when
Yes.
designers had
Yes.
imaginations.
Yeah, no CAD, no computer aided design. This is when they actually drew cars
So
with
it's quite
pencil and
amazing, to
paper.
sculpt this kind of curvatures.
To hand form this kind of curvature is just insane, absolutely insane. Oh, there's some nice cars in the background as well, and Mercedes SL, lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
So nice. So let's talk a little
Beautiful.
bit about 2020. What's going to happen? I've pretty much, I don't know about you guys, but I've pretty much written off 2021 already. I mean, I think the soonest we can actually get back to some sense of normalcy, like you said, BC, before COVID, Bobby, I'm going to remember that one, will be at the earliest fourth quarter 2021, October, November, December, around that time. And still, I think freedoms are
Even
not
then
going to be
also it will
so.
be with a lot of even then also it will be a lot of precautions,
Yes,
SOP,
Yeah,
right?
I think my opinion, SOPs are probably going to continue into 2022. In fact, personally, I'm going to continue my own SOPs. Wearing face masks, social distancing, and sanitizing. Wash your hands a lot. But if they allow interstate travel and future overseas travel via road when they open the borders, let's talk a little bit about the spirit of Evo Enduro. Bobby, this was your idea. And it very much appealed to me as well when I first heard about it, because you fashioned it out of an idea of the Mille Miglia, which to me is one of the most prestigious, most wonderful races that you can actually have anywhere in the world. And so when I heard that you wanted to do something like this, as you know, I was very excited. And the moment I said, you told me about it, I said, when are we leaving? If I remember correctly, I was already sold before you finished your sales pitch. But let's talk about the spirit of Evo Enduro, even though we didn't have one last year, and very unlikely to have one this year. Tell us a little bit more, Bobby, about the spirit of Evo Enduro. It's not about the speed. It's never been about the speed.
Yes.
It's always been about something else. So please tell us.
I just saw a comment from FS. He said "Baru Mili Miglia," and I asked Chiang to highlight this comment. Okay. Before I go into what Chris Wee asked, the funny thing is, I bought the domain millimiglia.com.
I remember this story.
I remember this story.
Because the Italians never bothered about it. And then one day, I received an email from the Mille Miglia, the car club, right? It's the Brescia car club that hosts Mille Miglia. Send me an email and say that, we would like to buy this domain. Then I just simply replied him, not for sale. Then he emailed again. Then I thought I would just want to. Okay, why I bought it is just, wow, how can they left this out? Then I just bought it.
Yep.
Then the email came back and say, how much you want for it? So I just want to brush them off. I said, 25,000 euro. All right. All right. I just told them 25,000 euro.
Hi,
and then the next thing, that was funny. Okay, I never wanted it, and I love the spirit of Mille Miglia. I just love the spirit of Mille Miglia.
Look at that. Yeah.
So and the next thing, after I told him 25,000 euro, the next thing I received is a lawyer letter. and it was copied to the international don't know what registered trademarks or whatever. Basically, it's some it's I think it's called WIPO or something like world trademark or whatever nonsense. Then immediately I was like, okay, fuck this shit, because I bought the domain like damn cheap, right?
Yeah.
So I just wrote an email, reply them, and I copied the website that sells all this domain.
Yep.
I CC'd the email to their website. I said, guys, just help me transfer this ownership to them.
For free.
Yeah, for free. I mean, I bought it for like nothing. Somehow they just missed it, it's funny.
Yeah.
So I just transferred it to them, and okay, coming back to Mille Miglia. Now, Mille Miglia is strictly classics. And Enduro is not.
But there are criteria to enter.
Yeah. But the essence of Mille Miglia used to be a race, right? It's an actual road race that race from Brescia to Rome and then back. All right, it's not a very long journey, but it's not. It's somewhat about the race, because back then every European car maker wants to race to prove whose cars are better, right?
Yep.
But as road racing became not publicly supported, it became a road rally whereby it's more like a demonstration race. People are just having fun, passing through the same routes that they have planned, and along the way, people celebrate the arrival of the whole entourage of these cars. So I absolutely love something like that, because it's not about winning the race. It's about, and it's not just a concourse event where the cars are parked there and it's just for show. Some people buy these classic cars, they bring it to a Concorde, the Elegance, and then they just park it there, and then after the show they win an award, they just put it back into the trailer and then bring it back to their museum and park it there. It's about appreciating these cars and the way they sound, the way they collect, the way those people who are lucky enough to be given a chance to be the owner or to ride together with the cars, to collect memories together with those cars. And it's about all this. It's about the journey. It's about the sound. It's about how the car looks. So I really wanted to do something like that. And of course, Evo Enduro were lucky enough to pull it off. And a lot of people don't understand why we have criterias. Because imagine the whole Evo Enduro filled with any cars like Valfires, Alphas, Nissan X-Trails and all that. It's the same as your traffic jam. It's the same as your morning hour traffic jam.
Absolutely
we want cars that are appreciated for what they are, what they were, how they were created, so there are criteria like car guy cars, it doesn't need to be something expensive. You look at the lovely Fiat Punto Cabriolet, right? It doesn't need to be $1 million horsepower and all that. It doesn't have to be that.
No.
So you can arrive in a first generation Honda City Turbo, right? Or a Starlet, or even a Satria. So our criteria are much lower than what Mille Miglia is, right? Mille Miglia is all classic, expensive cars. We have criteria like 2 doors, immediately you're welcome, right? Cabriolets, you're welcome. You have some weird engine configuration like flat 6, flat 4, V8, all this, you're welcome. You safari your car, welcome. Basically car guy cars. And
you put livery on your car.
And it's amazing the type of people we met in Evo Enduro, the type of people that turn up is just absolutely amazing. These are the type of people where you're sitting with 100, 200 people, and then you say Di Tommaso Pantera, and all of them know what it is. It's this type of people. It's just
absolutely.
Amazing.
How my Malay friends would say, all sama kepala, kepala. Car enthusiasts, not speed racing enthusiasts, not a specific type of enthusiast. Only want speed, only want power, only want glamour, only want glory, only want to race. And maybe that's
makes an interesting point.
Yes, that's basically it. That's basically it, and that's why I think it's a very valid reason. And I know it's actually pissed off quite a few people. Why there is a criteria to adhere to. If not, it just becomes like what you said. I couldn't have put it better. It will become a traffic jam.
And what's amazing is this: like we have another event, Cars of Malaysia, right? Any cars are welcome, right? And I'll give an example. Sean, right? He came to our Cars of Malaysia in his Honda City, right? He loves his car. He mods his car. He's a car guy as well. He watches car videos and all that. But he never dared take the step to go into risky pastures. He never dared to venture beyond that. And he's a car guy. He loves car. He watched cars all along. But when it comes to really owning it, he's only he he got a Honda City. Of course, is reliable, is practical, and all that, right? But at the end, when he joined us, I asked him when we were having dinner in Kuantan or what. I said, what's the car that you dream of? He said, a Civic Type R. I'm like, bro, why don't you get
Then
it?
go
It's
for it.
100,
Yeah.
110, 120 now. Then he was like, wow, how's the maintenance, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, it's a Honda. So I keep pestering him until I found him the car. He's someone, the guy who's selling it is a French dude who stays in Taman Desa. He teaches Muay Thai, and he's putting up the Civic Type R for sale. So I send the link. Yeah, I sent the link to Sean. I said, bro, go get it now. So eventually he saw the car. He did an inspection, blah blah, and all that. During that process, he was very wary. He was like, wow, very scared. Performance car, dream car. So he got it for 117,000. And
117.
then 117. Then he joined us for last year, 2019's Enduro in his car. Right?
I drove with him.
Yeah, and look at that smile where you see it's not something he cannot afford, right? After his Honda City, he could have went into a Civic FC and still look at the FD2R as his dream car.
Right.
But all it takes is just a little bit of a push to tell him that, bro, you can own cars like this. Don't worry, go for it.
Yes.
And
YOLO.
true enough, few years down the road now, his car is worth like what, 160, 170, 180,000.
Yeah.
Right. And he's happy, even though he's not happy now. He's stuck in Singapore.
Very, very sad. And the car is stuck here apparently.
and back in 2020, so many people buy cars that specifically buy cars that are specifically meant to qualify for Evo Enduro.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And I'm just happy to have an event that encourages people to go for something they like, and also these type of cars deserve a new lease of life to somebody who will put in effort to take care of those cars again.
To appreciate your car.
That's the spirit of Evo Enduro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like what you say about giving these cars a new lease of life, because that's what Chris Wee does all the time.
Yes,
a bit too much.
Yes,
a bit too much actually.
Chris, I sometimes I feel, right, you are the guy who goes around, rescuing these cars. And after a while, you move them to good homes.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It's a very, I think there's a special place for you in car heaven just because of all that.
Con, you look at that picture that we share. I think I forgot who shared it. The BMW E9, my all-time favorite, right? Out of that workshop, Chris, you know that workshop, right? The Garang workshop at Sunway.
Yes.
Notorious one. I do not understand why so many people send their classics there, and those cars die around that workshop.
Yeah, they all die. It's a very sad place. Very sad place.
I see the 964s rusted. What I've seen there? I've seen a Celica GT4 Cabriolet.
I was with you when we saw it.
Yes, I
was with you when we
saw it. Rusted behind the alley. I was like, is this workshop a place they fix cars or what? What are they doing with all these cars? All the cars came and died there. It's sad.
Yeah. One thing I can say about classic car restoration, a lot of people get into it with a lot of enthusiasm, but not enough funds. And why sometimes you see a lot of these classics is because they probably bought it cheap somewhere from an uncle or a grandfather, somebody's grandfather, and they got it cheap, but they didn't realize that doing it up and restoring it would cost as much. And so that's why you see a lot of very nice classic cars, whether they're Continental or JDM, abandoned in certain areas because they don't have experience in it. So they ask their friends, and most of their friends will only go to like one or two different shops, and so they send it there. And then the next thing they know, they find out the bill to restore is like 10 times more than what they paid for the car, or maybe they even got the car for free, and they just don't have the funds. They don't to do it. So a lot get abandoned. There. What what I would suggest is if you find that you cannot restore a car, and now this is for advice for all who have tuned in, all 244 of you, thank you for being here, is that you should realize what you're getting into. And if, be practical about it and be realistic. If you cannot afford to do it, let it go to somebody who can. Because there are a lot of people out there who are enthusiasts, who want to do this, but they haven't found a project that appeals to them. It's a lot to do with feeling. This is nothing to do with your head. This is all has to do with your heart. So if you find a car that appeals to you greatly, then go for it. Go for it, because you're not gonna find another one as easily as many people think. Yeah,
Chris, that is very true. That is really very true, because I answer people like that. I cannot afford, even though it's a classic that is maybe 50, 60,000, right? I would just tell them I cannot afford. And they're like, hey, Bobby, you're joking. I'm saying, no, it's not just the money, it's the time and the patience.
Time. Yes.
Yeah, and you have to make how many phone calls, go and meet people to find. I cannot afford that, because I'm still at a stage whereby I'm in the middle of my career. My time needs to be used to live. Maybe when I'm like 55 or whatever, I've wind down all my commitments, and the time I may have the time to actually invest. I can invest time into a classic. I cannot afford. I cannot afford.
The thing about embarking on a classic car project, right? It's money. It's actually, I think, somehow the easiest hurdle. It's the time.
It's the time. Yes, a lot of people don't have the time for this. So I had a great idea the other day, and I wanted to bounce it off you guys here and everybody here as well, all 244 of you. I was watching this show the other day where this guy actually goes to a couple, and they want to buy a house. They want to buy a house. So he takes them to different houses to see which one they like. And then they eventually, at the end of the show, they buy one of the houses that he has showed them. So how's this for an example? People don't have the time to go hunting around for their cars. So they give me a list of 3 cars that they like. And I go and look for the car for them. And then at the appropriate time, I bring them and go and show them the car. We talk about the car and everything. And then they choose one, and then I restore it for them.
I think if you're doing something like that, you better charge good money.
You have to charge, right? Because Chris, you just think about this. If the person tells you 3 cars that you like, right, then you happily do it for the first few rounds. Let's say you are lucky until the 7th, 8th, 9th round, those requests were all cars that you like, right? What if someone come to you and table you some cars that you feel like, what the hell is this person? Why did he even want something like that? You drag yourself to do it, right?
Yep, correct.
And if you don't do it, they leave a bad review.
See, I see.
When it becomes a business, right?
Yes.
So it has to be things where maybe you actively go look around, and then you tell people why they make sense to be an entry into the classic car scene. Then it's something you like. You curate for them instead of just doing the legwork for them. And you have to earn money from it.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
You have to
remember that, folks.
Earn money from it.
If you're good at something, never do it for free. Good motto in life. Okay, so guys, we're heading into the last part of the show already. So let's take a very quick break, and we'll wrap up after this. What do you think?
Sounds
that
like
quick. I thought we just started.
Yeah. No, man, it's going on to 1.5 hours already. 1 hour and quite crazy, minutes. Right? How amazing how time flies when you're online. The other day I was online with Thomas, and 2 hours flew by like really quick.
The day Thomas threw some great choices, man, for Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, Chris one is the best way.
One of the best choices. I had a lot of fun with that. Really.
Always the thing like that. Then he throws something that.
Naza Chitra.
Con. Yesterday, Nas Abdullah, Theophilus Chin, and Hasbullah, right?
Yeah.
Their live went on for 3 hours.
Woo!
Yeah, we have to keep to a time because we're all buddies here. We can
Yeah,
talk forever.
Oh,
So
yes.
Yeah,
it's like,
man.
if we go online, 3 a.m. is not out of the question. One day
Yeah.
we should do a
Chris,
yeah.
Patrick, all of them say, Chris, you should go for it. If you do it right, me and Con will build you a website, a section for you
Oh, thank you.
for your
Yeah.
curation, and then people come
Mm.
to you, and then you charge money, and then you do it, and then turn it into a show.
And turn it into a
that
show,
will
yeah.
work.
Because
Yeah.
bringing a car back to life is, to me,
Yeah.
one of the most rewarding things. Actually,
Yes,
Yeah.
Con,
back to
we'll build a
life.
section inside Evo Malaysia for Chris.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, okay, let's go
Sounds
for the
good.
break.
Sounds good. Okay, let's go for a quick break, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
All right.
Hey,
We are back.
yeah, we are back. Bobby, tell us, why is it the most important thing to have a freaking fire extinguisher? Con, you can tell us also. I've got one in all my cars. Why is it so important to have a fire extinguisher in your car?
Because cars will catch fire, can
Yes.
catch fire, right?
Murphy's
Yes.
law. If it's gonna happen, it will.
Your car is basically a moving fire hazard. Now, even granted, modern cars are very well fireproofed, right? The car makers have put a lot of effort to fireproof the car. They've got
Yeah.
fuel cut off in the event of an accident, but it doesn't change the fact that your car is carrying
Flammable goods. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
half the weight,
Absolutely.
half to a third of the car's weight is flammable or combustible items. Don't talk about your fuel. Your
No.
other fluids inside your brake fluids are flammable. Then you have your rubber parts, then you have your upholstery in there. All these things, can catch or spread an ongoing fire.
I've got coconut husk in some of my car seats. They used coconut husk in classic car seats. So do you know how flammable that stuff is? And one of the leading causes of car fires is not so much fuel, but electrical, like you mentioned just now.
Yes.
When they
Yes.
actually mess with the
Yes.
entertainment systems, they put in their own amplifiers and change the wirings, and they mess up that part.
Yes.
A lot of fires. So, folks, if you're here, you're listening, please have a fire extinguisher in your car at all times. Yeah. Don't forget
the
there's
one
a
that
fire under your bonnet. There's a fire going on under your bonnet already.
And the one that we are bringing, okay, this round, it's not that the stuffs are here and we're selling them, right? We found this great thing, and we hope everybody who is interested, we all can pool together so that we can get the numbers up and then order it and bring it in for everybody. All right, this thing, the thing is, every single car that you see burning or see pictures of, all of them don't believe it will happen to them.
Yeah, nobody believes it will
None
happen
of
to
them believe that, right?
until it does.
That's the first thing. Second thing is the current fire extinguishers, right? They are all dry powder fire extinguishers, and dry powder fire extinguishers will actually damage electronics, and the hassle of cleaning up is crazy.
The powder goes
this
everywhere.
this one has no residue because it's gas based, right? And it's not pressurized, so you don't have to worry that you have a pressurized canister in your car under the sun and whatnot, right? That's the second thing. Third thing, it doesn't need yearly maintenance or checks and all that, right? It's solid state. It's not pressurized. There's no gaskets and all that. And another thing that we found, there is another very innovative product from the same factory as well. Once after this round, we will try and we will bring it in and do some testing, because this is like a patch that it sticks on top of the server boxes. And when fire catches up, and when it reaches that temperature, right, this piece of thing that is stuck there will trigger and turn into gas, and it will put out the fire.
Oh, wow.
And it's like a sticker.
Nice.
So I think this is perfect to be stuck in the bonnet of cars.
Yeah, under the bonnet. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so we need to do testing and all that. But then first round, we need to get this first. So I urge everybody, this is a great thing, and it's so small and so convenient. join our group buy, please. And then we all try to group up the numbers and bring it in. All right.
Definitely. That would be great. The reason why I brought this up also is
Yeah.
because this show talks about classics and old school classics, and those cars, by virtue of their age already,
Cannot
you
be
know,
sure.
and like what Con mentioned just now, modern day cars have more fireproof materials. Old cars, no, like I just said, that I've got coconut husk in some of my seats, and that stuff will, you know, it's a tinderbox. It will just catch fire and
And you
burn your whole
cannot buy
car.
insurance.
And
Yeah.
and your insured value is always much lower. Third-party fire and
And-
theft, insured value is very much lower.
Yes,
And
yes.
old cars were made at a time when people were smarter. It's a bit more. Remember that joke, that meme that was circling around, say that the next time you laugh at old people, remember that during their time, car manuals taught them how to change oil or change light bulb. This now they teach you not to put stick your fingers into the engines.
No, something like that, Con. It says that the old car manuals tell you the firing order of your engine. The new ones ask you don't drink your coolant.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I've got a few old car manuals, and they actually tell you how to teach you how to service your car, how to troubleshoot, how to DIY so many things. Now you can't even change the battery on a modern day car because you might fry the circuit.
Correct.
So you actually have to call the breakdown service for even a flat battery. It's crazy. It's really crazy. So maybe that adds to the charm of owning an old school classic.
Man.
That could be it. That could very well be it. So for those of you who are just joining, this is the pilot episode, and Bobby already informed. Next week's episode, we'd also like to do a very quick shout out to Alex Yung, who is celebrating his birthday today, Malaysia's first and so far only F1 driver for the Minardi team. Alex is celebrating his birthday today. If we can have his photo up here. So happy birthday, Alex Yung. Alex is going to be a guest on this show next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. And I'm very, very excited about that because I've currently no idea what I'm going to ask him. So there he is. And Alex, if you're watching, happy birthday. Thank you for agreeing.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Yeah. Thank you for agreeing to be on the show next week. We're gonna have a good time. I think we're gonna definitely have a good time. Yep, for sure.
Chris, there's one thing I think maybe some people here do not know. Our other colleague in Horizon, Alex Wong.
Another Alex.
He's the guy who supported Alex Yung into F1.
Excellent.
A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know that. If it weren't for Alex Wong pushing for it to put Alex Yung into F1, Malaysia would not have the connection with F1, and Sepang won't happen, right?
Yeah.
And even maybe Petronas Mercedes-Benz won't happen.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. Petronas is the biggest. It's official. Petronas is the biggest sponsor of Formula One for the last 7 years. Something to the tune of 770 million euros, if I'm not mistaken.
Whoa!
Our very own Petronas is the biggest sponsor of Formula One, even though we don't have the Formula One anymore. So, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be really interesting because I've known Alex since he was a kid. I actually worked for his father, Hanifa Yung.
Wow.
That's how far back we go. Yeah, so maybe that's something that viewers don't know as well. But I was actually an employee of his father many years ago during the Lucky Strike Rally. Cigarette sponsorship. Sorry, Lucky Strike Rally of Malaysia. Yeah, we had a big rally, and Yinfa was the actual organizer of the event, and I worked for Yinfa, his father.
Chris, I also go back very far with Alex Yung's father. I cycled with Kaining to the Taman Desa Lake, and we jumped into the lake. And I remember an uncle throw us a vest, asked us to wear the vest. Later, then only I know it's Alex Yung's father.
Oh,
they were operating the lake with the jet skis that time.
Yes.
And we are those kids that jump into lakes that somehow, if we're not lucky, we will end up on the newspaper. The next day.
Yes, unfortunately, true. Alex Wong Alex Wong was a jet ski champion for Malaysia. He was a
Yes.
world jet ski champion, world, not just Malaysia,
Yeah.
a world
Sponsored
jet
by
ski
Petronas.
champion. Petronas has been sponsoring for, so maybe we
Epic
should get them
guy,
to
like,
sponsor
like,
Evo Enduro, Bobby. They seem to have a lot of money.
but then Petronas will ask me, Bobby, but you always pump Shell V Power Racing. Then I will tell them, sorry, I cannot give up Shell V Power Racing.
Okay, cool, guys. Yeah, let's move along. So we are already almost at the end of the show. We've done our anything you guys want to shout out. Now is the time.
Thank you so much for inviting us to your
Who
show,
else
Chris.
Who else could it have been except you guys? Bobby, you and I and Con, we go back a long way.
Yeah, man. You two are like my among my oldest friends in this industry.
Nice. We're brothers already. Brothers already. I was actually, Bobby, I was also interested. Do you want to sell the Fiat?
Who wants to buy?
Me lah. Who else?
Oh, you missed it, ah?
No, actually no.
To you,
I've got too
anytime,
many.
bro.
Yeah, I've got too many cars. Actually, you
you-
need a classic. Maybe
Anytime.
Con, you should buy one of my cars because your cars are all still too new.
I
should
can
buy
even,
something from the
bro. I
from
can
the
even
previous century,
park it with you, and then you see what needs to be done further or what.
Sadly, Bobby, I wish I could take you up on that, but that car needs to be parked where it's parked right now, with a roof over its head.
Yeah,
Those cars, as you know, in the 70s, anti-rusting was like, what is that? It was still in the future, way in the future, and so those cars are actually very much better off parked underground or under a shade.
There's a car accompanying the Fiat now.
Hi, Caliste.
Hello, say hello.
Hi, Caliste.
There's a car accompanying the Fiat now. It's Jerry Bentley's Jerry.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Jerry.
Yeah. So he yes. Oh, nice hair. Yes. Okay. I'll come in a while. We're finishing.
So cute.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, Bobby.
We're finishing.
It looks
Sorry,
like I'm
a quick
taking
one.
up your family time.
No.
Sorry.
So he previously he parked his SLK on the empty lot next to his, right, next to his parking. So we stay in the same condo lah. So then someone bought the unit and parked the car there. So he no longer have because he has his X5 and his 7 Series, right? He no longer has a parking. So he parked his SLK outside our condo. So the day I saw his SLK outside, I was like, wow, why park here? 1 day, 2 day, 3rd day, I cannot tahan. I call him, bro, my BMW is not with me. Let me please park your car at my place under the shade. So now his SLK is at my parking together with the Fiat lah. Yeah.
Very actually, nice. For me, I also don't really have the heart to park cars under the sun for a long time. I mean, if let's say if it's like I'm going out for work or for whatever, a day or two at most, it's okay. But if it's like that's the car spot permanently under the sun, wow, I cannot.
Yeah. Very hard sick. Currently, because we are not even allowed to drive much, and it's impossible to have too many cars at one place. So I actually parked 2 of my cars in another place where they actually have a cover. If not,
man.
I also park my car in my mother's house also.
Yeah.
Just now another some what you call it? Just now there was one comment, but it's too far back up already. Yeah. So he commented about his car being idle for too long during this period. Rats went in and have had a snack on the wiring.
Yes. Sadly, some cars wiring, especially old cars wiring, there was something in the plastic that they used for the wiring looms that is attractive to rats. Yeah. And rats can destroy the wiring of your car. Yeah. So get a cat. Apparently, when rats sense a cat around, they won't come to your place. So that's one thing. Yeah. But if you hate cats, get a rat deterrent or
So the thing is, I mean, it may be difficult right now, but the best thing that we all can do for our cars is to drive them regularly.
Yeah, right? Even if it's just around the block. True.
My sister-in-law learned that the hard way a couple of days ago. Her engine couldn't start despite the battery being relatively new. because the car was stationary for I think too many days.
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It happens. It definitely happens. So yeah, good tip there. Good tip there. If you can't, even if you can't drive out, at least start the engine, warm it up a little bit. Starting the engine will actually drive it up and down your neighborhood. Yeah, true. Starting the engine will actually scare rats away. If there are any rats trying to nest in your car or any other critters, they will actually get scared. So don't leave it out there for too long. Another tip that you can remember is if it rains, after it rains, wipe down your car. Just wipe down the car, because water, when it's allowed to evaporate from our heat of a car, it can actually damage your paint. So that's another tip for you guys. But yeah, starting up regularly and driving it around, that's definitely a must. Well, so guys, I wanted to keep this below 2 hours, because I know normally we go, we shoot for 2 hours, but sometimes we go over 2 hours. You guys have families, but I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on this first episode. Thank you. You wonderful input, and all of you who have joined us here today, 200 plus of you. Thank you so much for joining us on this first episode. Please tune in again next week. We will have none other than Alex Jung here, and we can ask him all kinds of stuff. So nice. And I'll see you guys in future as well, because this is not the first. Although this is the first episode, it's not the last time you guys are going to be on. I will definitely be calling up on you again. And thank you so much for all the comments. I'm sorry I couldn't go through all of them, but there were a lot here. Gary, Thomas, Lawrence, Andrew, all you guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think this is great. We can definitely do this again. Please stay tuned, folks. Lots coming up on Horizon, lots coming up insofar as Evo stuff is concerned. Everybody knows right now we cannot drive anywhere, and the premise of this whole family of ours is driving, and we can't do that. So this is how we reach out to all of you. So with that said, guys, any last things you want to say? Stay safe.
Stay safe, Lord.
Stay safe.
Yep. So this is good. We are below 2 hours. I'm glad. Yeah. Very nice.
And
thank
please
you, everybody.
support the other Horizon team members as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Subscribe to all their channels.
Go and see.
Con,
everybody. We're all there.
Yeah, everybody. Alex.
Trying our best. All of us. Like I said earlier, everybody's going through a battle that you don't know about. So, support everybody that you meet. Don't be like that guy near Bobby's place who go and shout at people for when he was not wearing a mask and now got arrested.
Arrested. Yes.
Be cool, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. We will see you all again soon. And to the backgrounder, Chiang, thank you so much for your help today.
Thank you, Chiang.
Thank you, Chiang, for your help.
Chiang is smooth tonight.
Super smooth. Let's put that photo of the Mercedes up. Let's show what Evo Enduro is all about. This photo was actually taken during Evo Enduro, the inaugural Evo Enduro, guys. Do you remember this?
2017
at Bangwat Dam. Yeah, so everybody is looking forward. I'm so looking forward to the next Evo Enduro.
Yeah, man.
All of you who have never driven in Thailand, who have always been curious about driving in Thailand, please join Evo Enduro and make sure your car is eligible, of course, or go buy a car that's eligible. Classics are eligible. And it's one of the best times to actually drive for in Thailand, right, guys? I mean, you're surrounded by friends. If anything happens, we're there to help you. So looking forward to it, guys. Let's hope we can do this soon. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, and that's it for the first episode of Crisscrossed, coming to you live. We'll see you again next week. Good night, everybody.
One more thing.
Thank you, Chris.
What's that?
To our Muslim friends, Selamat Hari Raya Aidil
Selamat Hari Raya Aidil Adha. Thank you for reminding me, Con. Thank you. Tune in next week, and it's going to be me and Alex Jung. See you later. Bye. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Con.
Good night.
Right, that went
well. Are we still?
We are still live.
Yeah. Bobby's left. Hello, folks. So this is let's talk about Bobby now, because he's not here.
Tian!